Hello, everybody. Welcome to another Sunday Funday. And sorry I didn't get out a second review for y'all. To be honest, that falls completely on moi. I was gonna get to a few movies, but the biggest problem was I had issues trying to get Rocket Man edited up, and also all the fun things was just trying to upload the damn thing. I was like, oh, I'll watch something, after it gets done uploading, so that way I don't take away too much bandwidth. And yeah, it took 3.5 hours just to do that, and I'm like, I have more shit I need to do than just this. So yeah, sorry. There will probably though be one, if not two, next week, because we're not gonna see Judy or Abominable, but we're gonna probably make it another review of either a film that we have not seen that came out this year.
Yeah, we would go see 21 Bridges, but
yeah, it got pushed back to November.
Hey.
And that was like our one other saving grace throughout September, because the other film that we were actually sort of at least hopeful was not going to be the worst thing ever that we were going to see, we saw, which of course is Rambo: Last Blood.
And there's nothing they can do to stop it.
Now, a quick or to say what we have all seen in terms of the Rambo movies. I have seen all of them, though I haven't seen 2 and 3 recently. It's been a little bit. And the beautiful Megan here, she has seen only the first movie. Though, to preface it, you really don't need to see the other movies.
I'll say, to be fair, at most, just the first one is all you need to see.
Yeah.
It's like, all you need to know is that he's a Vietnam vet who's suffered from PTSD in the past, and
He's seen some shit.
yeah, he's badass, and he's trying to keep a lid on that part of him.
Yeah. And honestly, it's like that's one of the, I think, good and bad things of the movie. Because the movie is very much a Rambo flick.
But then, it can almost stand alone.
Yeah.
It's just a regular, standalone action flick.
Yeah. It could be fine. It's like, it doesn't have to have everything. But what I mean by calling it just a regular Rambo flick, and I get why, I can understand why critics don't like this, but at the same time, I think critics are trying to be ultra critical because Sylvester Stallone's not in the higher echelon anymore of big name action stars like The Rock or even Jason Statham at this point.
He's still pretty famous and badass, though.
Yeah.
You still know who Sylvester Stallone is.
Yeah, and there's still a lot of times where it's like, I wouldn't want to fuck with this guy.
He's older. He's made a lot of movies. He's probably gotten to the point where financially, he doesn't have to make movies anymore.
He does it because he likes to entertain us, and God bless him.
He has the option of picking and choosing what projects he wants to work on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. To go into negatives, I guess first. We'll just let you know. Probably not going to spoil much, if any, of this movie, just because I think we can both say very easily that we fairly enjoyed the flick. It's not the best action movie that has come out in the past few years, but to be fair, I didn't need this to be the best action movie. I didn't want this to be the best action movie. I just wanted a badass flick where I'm going to watch Rambo go Rambo on assholes.
Yeah, it's a revenge story, and Hollywood has made, I don't know how many of those over the past 30, 40 years.
Hell, just past 10 years, there's been a number of really high-profile ones. Taken is probably the one that this is probably going to get compared to, I think, the most. Sorry.
Yeah, I personally, I've never seen the Taken films, but it's kind of a genre that's kind of been done to death. Death Wish did it really well.
Yeah.
And I will say that Rambo: Last Blood, while really adding nothing new to it, is still it's still entertaining and it's still very relatable.
Yeah. It's if you go into this in the mindset that you're going to be watching this like autistic film, you're a dumbass. Just gonna put it straight up.
It's a bloody, violent film.
Yeah, and when we say bloody and violent, it is ooey bloody. In fact, the only other negative I could technically say, and I don't say this actually really against the movie, I would probably more say against the MPAA, because you can tell there's certain points where this movie was probably going to be a lot gorier, like maybe linger on these kills that happens near the end, closer toward the end of the film. But unfortunately, it wants to cut away a little quickly. And I'm like, I don't think that's the movie doing that, because Rambo, the movie called Rambo, was gore fest is the best way to put it. It had one moment he points a 50 caliber machine gun at a dude and blows him away. Literally, there's just gore and just starts shooting motherfuckers and they're just exploding. And this, it does try to stick with that. At one point, he stabs.
He goes home alone on some of these assholes.
Yeah, it's like Kevin McAllister is a Vietnam vet.
Yeah.
That could be its good tagline. Kevin McAllister is a Vietnam vet. But like, also at one point, like he stabs this dude like right near his collarbone, sticks his thumb in there, and rips the son of a bitch.
Oh, just like. Oh.
It's like one of those. God, movie, stop it.
It was like the strength and like the wherewithal to like do this, like just it's like that's freaking badass. Like,
Yeah, and honestly, like I was even saying, the worst part about this, it's nothing new. Well, some of the kills are pretty new and interesting, but the overarching story, to give you all a quick rundown of it, John Rambo is living in Arizona with his niece.
His niece.
I was about to say, I think it was
Gabriella or something.
Yeah, I think it was Gabriella.
Yeah.
And Gabriella goes to Mexico to look for her father, who was not just an abusive asshole, but also a guy who just up and left her because he needs to be a dick. And also, I guess if I want to nitpick, technically he's kind of a stereotype, what you would think of a bad father figure.
Yeah, an abusive asshole who just like abandoned his family and like oh, well, the reason why I left is because, you know, you and your mom meant nothing to me, and I didn't want you in the first place, so.
Yeah, he's the biggest dick in the world. It's like, oh, well, thanks.
Yeah, he's pretty much there just to get her to Mexico. Where, like, the stuff really starts happening. The shit really starts to hit the fan.
Yeah, because eventually, of course, she gets kidnapped by a drug, not really cartel, but like a drug gang is the best way to think of it.
Yeah. And is made to be well, basically
it's sort of like a sex slave.
Yes. It's sexual slavery.
Yeah. Pretty much it's putting this group of abused and purposely like drugged up women. If y'all have seen also, what the hell's the movie? It's got Kevin Costner in it and also John Leguizamo. It's one of his first roles. I can't remember what it's called. It's like Payback or Revenge or something like that. Very similar premise in a fashion, though of course it's not a lover. It's more of just, it's a daughter figure in a way. Again, Taken, you have seen this movie before, but to be fair, there is also still a lot of good to be had in this. John Rambo is just certifiably badass. There's a point to he's killing motherfuckers with a hammer. Just a hammer, just wasting bitches.
Damn.
He hits a dude with the end that tears up nails in the dick. Stabs him in the dick with that end. Just the ultimate, oh, God, he's going to be peeing out 4 holes now.
Yeah, he moves heaven and earth just trying to find this girl that is his, like, pretty much his daughter.
Yeah.
That he and this one lady who kind of like cooks and cleans for them, that they both kind of raised as their own.
Yeah, I think it might be like, that's her, like, grandniece or something like that. Yeah. It's obviously not John Rambo's mother, because as far as we know, his mother is either passed or no longer in the picture. Of course, I guess this means that his sister's dead. I guess she was the one who had cancer, because otherwise, the father's not related to John.
Yeah.
So
Well, obviously, because yeah, apparently he's white, and like Gabriella's dad's side of the family is Hispanic.
Yeah. Yeah. If you want to watch this movie, though, just know you're going to watch it because you want to watch some good action, a decent setup for a film. If, again, like I said, if I can give the movie any faults, it's just technically it's not a potentially really new setup. You're seeing it in their movies, but whenever it decides to have action, first off, this is not your PG-13 film. Like when I say,
it's like kind of old school action flick like RoboCop.
Yeah, or Total Recall, or hell, you can also go by Rambo or Expendables 1 and 2, that they're fairly bloody films. And that's the thing. When people die, they fucking die. Like, nobody here has a nice death, is a nice way to put it. There is a dude who steps on a thing of nails that go completely through his foot and then gets blasted away by a shotgun. There's a dude who gets...
Two guys that fall into this pit of spikes, and
he sprays them with an assault rifle.
I guess to make sure they're dead.
Yeah. And there is some kind of corny things here and there, technically. Such as, like, he even says, you want to know what it's like to have your heart ripped out. And that's how he kills him.
I'm going to rip your heart out like you ripped mine out.
And that's actually how he kills the last guy. Not to give away too much, but still.
Yeah.
And I guess it maybe helps that this is Rambo. And not only that, but this is a movie where it's unapologetically violent at times. I'm cool with that. I'm fine with it. Whenever it has action, like I said, beyond the kind of quicker edits, but I think that was more necessitated by the MPAA more than the movie. Because... Yeah.
Nowadays.
Because dudes fucking just drop.
Well, I mean, even some of this, like, kind of edited, kind of held back violence, someone's like, ooh! It's like,
yeah.
What was it? It's really bloody. It's like
it's
like really kind of borders on graphic. It's like, not that I mind, but it's like
still I will say those who, just quick tangent, those who've ever wanted to see probably the bloodiest thing that have actually seen it's real, or not real, but it's a movie. Watch RoboCop, the rated X version.
I'd say the director's cut or Criterion Collection. Mm-hmm. It's like pretty much the unedited, like, wow.
Yeah, because there's points you're like, oh, like even like.
This guy getting ripped to shreds by that one robot thing.
Yeah, by the Ed 209. It's like, oh, after a while, you're just like, oh, God, it's just started getting rough to watch.
Okay, Swiss cheese now.
Or hell, Murphy, it's...
Yeah, it's like, it's more...
Yeah, like, it lingers a little bit more on it, and it's like, oh, God, oh.
Yeah, it's more grab, like, I think he, like, shoots up more of it before he finally shoots
and
it off.
Also showing, like, the bits of him flying off. It's not quite white stuff. It's all blood and guts and everything. It's like, holy shit, movie.
Yeah, Clarence is merciless in that movie.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, this movie does kind of harken back to these older action movies.
But at the same time, it's an action film for nowadays, for this time that we live in.
Yeah, it doesn't try to say anything political, which, hey, that's cool. Though I'm pretty sure some hardcore people who are worried about the border are probably going to make something, because, like, how they get across the border is this underground tunnel. It's like, guys, Chapo's been doing that for years. Mm-hmm. But regardless of which, there is a lot to say that is just, I don't know, how's the best way to put it? Just, it's simplistic in its own regards. To sit here and try and look deeper into any of these meanings behind why this is happening, why that is happening, it's not anything but to just tell a action story and tell a revenge story, which
But you feel for the guy.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like, it's perfectly understandable, and any parent in the same situation would at least be fantasizing about doing the same thing if they could.
Yeah, it reminds me a lot of the remake that they did with Last House on the Left. Those who really want to know, I personally prefer the remake over the original, just because the original really, really is tone deaf issues. Oh, you ever seen the original Last House on the Left?
No, and I've not seen the remake either.
Alright, so you do know the basic premise of Last House on the Left, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so during the whole rape sequence, because it shows it in both movies, and it's really brutal in both of them. The original has one slight little issue here. And in fact, that keeps cutting away to showing the parents having this, jolly G time. It's so tone deaf, and it's such
And it's like such a weird juxtaposition.
Yeah, it just jarringly tears you out of the movie.
That may have been the intent, but
I think the original intent that Wes Craven had behind it was the fact that he was trying to make it to where it's like, oh, look, these people don't realize that their world is literally being destroyed. I don't know. But
obviously it's supposed, I think the juxtaposition obviously was supposed to be jarring and shocking. It's like, what the it's like, what is wrong with you, kind of. It's like to really make you pay attention to the rape scene. I'm guessing. Again, I have not seen this, so
I will show it to you. I have it on DVD. Just the problem is it's so jarring to, like I said, that it actually doesn't so much shake you to your core, but more it shakes you awake and makes you remember, oh yeah, I'm watching a movie. And it takes you out of it a bit. You can't sympathize as much as you want for the characters. But yeah, this movie, like I said, it does not hold back with its action, with its gore. The story may be on the simplistic side. There is sometimes, I guess, maybe you can say the dialogue's a little on the cheesy side, but even then, it does what it needs to do. Not only that, but this movie is a short flick. It's an hour and a half long. Hour and 29 minutes if you want to start getting picky.
yeah, I was like, and Crossroad, I was like, already?
Yeah, and
It's a quick little flick.
and personally, we can do with that. We don't need to have these
3-hour-long epic drama action flick. Like,
I love Endgame. I love the Lord of the Rings movies. Hobbit movies are not part of that thing. Just, there's a time and place for these epics, like you're saying.
yeah, there's some instances where the runtime can be too long. It can feel like it's too long. Like in
Chapter 2.
yeah. Well, also I was thinking of Solo.
Yeah, Solo can...
Not a bad movie, but there were parts where it's like, okay, if we can like maybe cut this down, because it's just like fight, action, just all at once, like no time to actually breathe. And it's like, okay, I'm just kind of getting overloaded with testosterone here, and I'm getting bored, and can you please end the scene and move on to the next one?
Or hell, John Wick 3 had that problem to it. Real issue. Yeah, and that's the other thing that to compare the two films, because I know some people may be like, well, y'all didn't like John Wick 3. John Wick 3 felt like it had no heart, it had no core. People are like, well, the first movie, but that's the problem. It was the first movie that feels so not connected with the rest of the universe.
Yeah, the first one was alright. It was, decent enough as far as, revenge and introducing us to this whole underground world of assassins. Actually kind of interesting.
Until we got introduced to it in full force.
Yeah, and it just kind of squandered in the second one, and then by the third one, it's like, okay, this is really freaking ridiculous. I don't care anymore.
Yeah.
Why was this made? Why is this thing?
And again, it also did not help that the third movie, for this film, whenever it has action, it always feels like it's just long enough. Like you're getting just the right amount. Like, that's perfect. You never feel like you're wanting, but you never feel like you're getting too much.
Yeah, it's kind of like in a horror film where you can build up tension to that one moment, that one scare. But if you hang on to that tension for too long, then it's like, well, moment's gone, moment's ruined, just get it over with, I don't care. And same can be said, I think, of action films, of action scenes.
Yeah, I actually agree with that entirely. That's an issue I've always had with certain action movies, especially some that are holding upper echelons. Hell, people really love The Professional. I like The Professional, but there's actually a point to where all the action is just a little too heavily weighted towards the end of the film. The only time I really don't mind action, if it's just so over the toply stupid, or it's just badass as fuck, but it's gonna have to be a bit still over the top. Endgame, Infinity War, and also I would throw in there Godzilla Final Wars. If y'all have never seen Godzilla Final Wars, it is 2 hours of just non-stop action and aliens and monsters.
A silly little flick about monsters fighting each other, but I would say not even a fan of Godzilla and all that stuff. Like, okay, that was fun. No, well, actually,
it's so dumb. It's fun.
And I was actually rooting for Godzilla and Mothra, and
I was talking about the Godzilla Final Wars, not Godzilla King of the Monsters. That movie is also fantastic in my mind. Well, though, technically, Godzilla Final Wars does have Mothra too. I'll shut up.
Yeah, I was more thinking of King of the Monsters, but yeah, I can apply to Final Wars too.
Yeah. So, yeah, if you're wanting to watch a good action flick and you've been hankering for a good one, go watch Rambo Last Blood. You're not going to be sorely disappointed. If you're going in and you're wanting to watch this deep, engrossing story, why are you watching a Rambo movie? Like, I didn't go into John Wick 3 thinking I was going to be watching Shakespeare, but I was wanting to watch it for semblance of something.
So it was a decent action flick.
Yeah, instead I had overtly long action scenes to the point where I was like, I'm getting bored.
There's gun. It's like they were shooting each other and taking turns shooting each other, and it's like, oh my god! And then the end's like sword.
Yeah, who's bet I was even getting worn out, and it was just
I was just getting so bored with this. Like, oh my god, I don't care.
Yeah.
And the scene with the dogs is like, okay, well, didn't they? What happened to where? When the dog over here? Wasn't one supposed to be shot dead or what? I don't know. It was just a mess all over the place. Just
yeah, it's just a bad...
that scene itself and also the whole movie. Just
yeah, that scene's kind of indicative of the entire movie. It wants to be the silly, over the top film, but it can't figure out how to properly pace itself.
It's like, Halle Berry, you are a goddess, but not even you could save this film.
It did not help. She seemed like she had no fucks to give.
Yeah.
She's like, I am doing this line with as little real gusto as possible. Wow, Halle, can you try that line read one more time? No. I still love Halle Berry, because at least she's awesome in there. Almost everything. Even Catwoman, she makes the movie at least watchable. Even though the movie is a train wreck.
Well, even in, Flintstones movie.
Well, that's because she's drool-worthy there. It's like, my wife.
I was like, I'm a straight woman. Even I got drool over her. Like, hi, hello. Have we met?
So, what would you give Rambo Last Blood as a final score?
Oh, another criticism, first of all, that I had was, was just me, or was the ending, the big fight scene, was that just over a little too quickly?
It might have been over maybe a little too fast, but to be fair...
I mean, I need a long, drawn-out thing, but it's just...
I think that it only felt that way simply because it felt like that there was... Just to put it this way, Rambo is very still... almost invincible.
We're not going to have a high body count, that much.
Yeah, and I think that's the thing. And again, this probably doesn't help with how they had to edit it down. I'm not trying to excuse certain things.
I mean, it's kind of fitting in to the franchise, but at the same time, it's... I think as a movie itself, the ending's like almost a little anticlimactic. Maybe that's just me.
Yeah, maybe you're always allowed to have your own opinion.
I was like, you may not have felt the same. I don't know if you...
I didn't feel 100% that way, but I can see why somebody would think that.
Yeah.
So, I'm not going to even begrudge you any. So, what
just that one guy was defeated a little too quickly. Just ridiculous. But yeah, overall, it was really enjoyable, and really, you don't even have to see, but like maybe the first Rambo, the First Blood.
Yeah. Watch First Blood.
Watch
Last Blood.
That's all you know is Vietnam vet with PTSD, badass. There you go. Mm-hmm. But yeah, final score, I gotta give it like a 9.
I'm gonna give this a little lower, but just to let you know, my scales are always funky. Nice is the way to put it. I give this
Don't trust his opinion on everything.
Yeah.
Or anything. He thinks I am the most gorgeous woman on the planet, so what he says is...
I don't think I know.
Your opinion counts for shit, honey. just because of that.
I can't help but she's wrong, people. Not that this movie is bad, but I think maybe just the biggest issue, like I said, it's like that this isn't a super... Not that it's not memorable, because that's one thing I will say. I am going to still remember some of this, but I do think I'm also going to remember some of the cornier spots of the film. Mm-hmm. And there are a few spots I'm like, okay, this is kind of cheesy. And also, it's a little slow at the beginning.
And I'll say, I think it does kind of, like for a cheesy kind of throwback, almost action flick, I think it does like kind of pull at your heartstrings a little bit. Mm-hmm. Where it's like, I think a lot of parents can relate.
Yeah.
Really just.
But I'm not going to go aggressively lower. It's still an 8.
8.
Yeah. This could easily be a movie that in a really great year, it's going to struggle to be able to end up on the top 10. But with the shit year we've been having, it's probably going to end up at least on the lower bits of it. It's a fun flick. I know this seems really contrarian. I'm thinking back because I remember some of my scores, and I remember I gave Lego Movie 2 an 8. And I feel like that's almost not good to Lego Movie 2 because that's giving it a lot more praise than it probably should. But I think it's almost just because it was such a downgrade from the other two that's technically better than Ninjago, but even then now I'm starting to question that. Got Ninjago, I need to watch it again. I'm like, let's see, is Ninjago better than I remember? Because I remember laughing a lot more in Ninjago.
All I can really seem to remember is when they're going through the jungle and there's a like the
welcome to the jungle.
I'm like, okay, how many kids that just flew over their heads?
It makes me laugh. Yeah, but hey, it could be a lot worse. Yeah, go check out Rambo Last Blood. If you're wanting to watch a good action flick and you haven't seen one in a bit, because I can't even think when the last good action movies come out. Let's see, Avengers technically is an action movie, technically.
That's considered more superhero.
Yeah. I don't know, if you just want to watch a badass action movie, go watch this. It's fun. It's a hell of a lot of fun. It's an hour and a half. It's an easy way to blow some time. Blow some time without blowing somebody.
Yeah, it's a quick little time killer. I don't think you'll regret it.
Yeah.
Unless you just really don't like action flicks.
Why are you watching this?
And parents, fair warning before you take your little kids to see this movie. There's lots of language and lots of gore.
It's really hard R.
For a reason.
Yeah. But yeah, that is Rambo Last Blood. We will probably be back next week. I'm gonna figure out what we're gonna do, because I'm just gonna be honest, we're not gonna watch Judy because it's a PG-13 movie about Judy Garland. And we all know she was an abusive, or pill popper. I was about to say abusive to herself, but I was like, that's not work any brain capacity. What do you may think that works?
Yeah, our only options are Judy.
Yeah.
I like Wizard of Oz, but I can care less about Judy Garland.
Same here. I'm like, yeah, fine.
And Abominable, which looks like it's trying to be Smallfoot from last year combined with How to Train Your Dragon.
Yeah, and on top of that, everybody's kind of pointed out, it's like, this is coming out the exact same time Smallfoot did. And it looks a million times worse, and Smallfoot looked like shit. That's not a glowing review, people. So, what we might try and do is, we might try to actually get y'all a couple of reviews. I know I said that for last week, but we will try to.
And it's either Redbox or Netflix.
Yeah. We might try to do a preview into October. Because as we all know, October is when the horror movies should be released. Mm-hmm. Though for some fucking reason, the first movie we're going to be watching in October is Joker. Well, maybe they're figuring horrible, but yeah. But we might have a little scares in store for next week. We'll see what life all gives us, because, sometimes life gives us lemons, sometimes it just gives us poo. There's never been a middle ground with me. Thankfully, here's my beautiful lemon. Can I make your lemonade? But hey, we'll see y'all next week with whatever the hell we end up seeing. So till then, everybody, see y'all later. So bye-bye.
Bye-bye.